Well, Rachelle, you're back in the pie studio.
I'm back in the pie studio. I missed y'all. I missed you.
So many weeks. So many weeks.
So many weeks, so much travel,
So,
so many nightmares.
how many times did you get stuck in an airport? Uh,
I think I only had one trip that didn't have an issue.
okay.
So,
That
of four
came across
trips,
like so casual. I think I only had one trip where I didn't have an issue. So in 6 trips.
you know, uh, two of them weren't too bad. I'm cursed. Like mechanical malfunctions, weather, like Mother Nature really did not like Dallas.
Yeah.
Uh, so she just kept railing, and I kept getting stuck in it. I don't know what y'all did, Texas, but yeah.
That's amazing. But I mean, I guess with some of the news coming out of Newark right now, maybe it's okay that you're safe and sound. Yeah.
Newark and DCA with like the helicopter diversion. That's where it was last week.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah, they had to like divert three or four different planes because like a police helicopter had to go through, and it was like this big chaotic mess. And the East Coast is not doing okay either.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair. Fair.
I
Um,
feel bad to those Newark air traffic controllers though. Like, my goodness.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll
That's
be
that's
salty about my flights, but that's traumatic. Like I could
yeah.
chill in it for a little bit. I hope they're okay.
I hope they're okay as well. Um, yeah. Interesting. Interesting. All right. So you were traveling because this is conference season. You're on your SMPS rotation.
I just finished my SMPS rotation. Conference season for me is
Yeah.
over, but it was a lot. It was two conferences, a workshop, and a summit in
Okay.
1 month.
In 1 month. That is a lot. That is a lot. But it means that you get to hobnob with other people in our profession.
I do. I get to listen to the brilliant minds of other proposal professionals who are much smarter than I am, and I love it. It is so much, and I feel like an overfilled sponge right now that's still trying to like keep everything together. But that was a terrible, terrible analogy. But
Terrible. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm
Uh,
not fully human yet. I still need to recover from all of that social interaction.
okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. So, for the pie audience, of course, what are the interesting insights that you've gleaned, or have you discovered anything that's interesting for the community at
Mm.
large?
So many things. I think unshocking, the consistent theme is that we are still dealing with the same stupid problems and proposals that we always have been. Like, hey, technical staff, subject matter experts, please work with us. We're
Yeah.
here to help you. Um, the obviously no surprise to anyone, AI was an overwhelming topic within all of the conferences. Um, and it's just alarming how fast it's moving. Absolutely incredible. And the creative ways that people are using it is the part I think that I enjoyed the most was like just learning because there's really no precedent for AI, right? Like nobody teaches the best way to use it. And there's just so many things you can do with it. And so seeing what other people are doing is always fascinating to me and like what tools they're using and super, super fun stuff.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right. All right. I'm down. I'm down for this. Interesting. Interesting that like SMEs are still like just SME collaboration is still a thing, and we saw that in the Lupio Trends report. That was,
Here's
yeah. I'm. Is that us? At a certain point, how much of it is them? How much of it is us? How much of it is the company that refuses to like give them the proper time or staff proposal teams appropriately? I just don't know on that insight. Yeah.
I mean, that was the topic that I was speaking on this year. Jeff Visnick and I, he's an engineer, So he is the technical staff. I'm the proposal manager, obviously. I drag him up on stage in front of all these marketers and say, "Look, pretend he's the technical staff member that you want to take all your frustrations out on. Ask him these questions." And what we find is that like it's kind of a both sides of the fence thing. Like technical staff don't always fully understand. They are set up for failure because of the seller doer model, at least in AEC. Um, but marketing also doesn't realize what they don't know, and so we don't always equip them with everything that they need to be successful. So it's both of us. But yeah, the culture of proposals in general is not particularly great for technical staff and proposal professional interaction. It's my
Okay.
opinion.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Good. And you were giving your burnout speech and buoying people up all over the place. And I know somewhere out there, someone may have recorded it.
Uh,
And is that going out in a post yesterday? Like, so,
so I did post it yesterday. It was actually it's really funny because the topic was not actually burnout.
okay.
I had a closing session at the SMPS AECAI Spring Summit, and the whole day was like all of these great technical experiences and tips from Christopher Penn. And so I was like, what should I talk about? Because I don't have anything to contribute. So my whole thing was, hey, AI is going to completely blow up the way we work if it hasn't already. So
Yeah.
we need to think through, what that's going to look like for us. And somehow he recorded my session, he took the transcript, he turned it into song lyrics using AI, of course.
Of
He
course.
then put that into an AI that produces music and turned it into this symphonic rock ballad.
Yeah.
And somehow the theme was still burnt out and broken. So
Like
I guess
chef's
it was
kiss.
just on brand for me. But yes, if you haven't seen it, I posted it on LinkedIn on Wednesday. And it's a bop, y'all.
It's a bop. I mean, song of the summer for sure. All right.
Thank
All right. So go out there and hunt it. If you haven't found it, I will retrieve that link and post it in the community at some point. E- Either in
you.
real life or in like actual educational materials, one or the other.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, if it distills the important messaging better than a full hour did, go for it.
Yeah.
Call it
Fair enough.
educational.
Fair enough. All right.
I wasn't the only one traveling, Ben.
It's true. It's true. I also traveled. I went to Chicago. One of my clients has their head office there. Yeah. Anyways, and it was a lot of fun. I don't get to travel to O'Hare very much, and I flew in a day early, and the proposal team all went out to do the Chicago architecture tour, which the boat tour is absolutely fabulous. Is absolutely fabulous. You start like right in front of Trump Tower, which is strangely gorgeous from the outside, and then like roll through the entire city. And what was terrific, at least about our guide, is that she was personifying the buildings a little bit. So she had a lot of love for the architects and what they were trying to do. Like, oh, this architecture is attempting to make a throne, and this architect is giving a nod to the person making a throne. But there was this one where there is an arch at the bottom of it because of the trains that are running underneath it. And she's like, this is the equivalent of you like sucking in your gut and you're like get a really firm core, like in that moment.
I love everything about this. This
Yeah.
person clearly loves architecture.
She loves architecture. We went to another one that's like narrow at the bottom, and she's like, yeah, this is a building like standing on its tippy toes. Again, because of trains. Turns out trains of the fire, or uh, did most of like Chicago's architecture or like influenced most of Chicago's architecture. Either it was because something burned down and we wanted to build back better of sorts, or yeah, the trains that were running underneath were causing a problem. There was this whole piece around an island that was created out of flotsam. That was like the sign of like some sort of Chicago raid post fire. Anyways, and and eventually got gentrified and turned into one of like the nicest neighborhoods in Chicago. So after they arrested the original inhabitants. So
as one
you
does.
know, it was good times. But anyways, absolutely delightful. But the reason I was in Chicago, and this kind of dovetails into your piece, is that my client is choosing a new response tool, um, and so and honestly, I have a lot like every time I do something like this, I have a lot more respect for procurement because because
Fascinating. Tell me more.
yeah, it's like we gave them, 120 odd questions, right? And we asked them to like basically tell us like on a ranking number system, like how long or like how good it was, or like how good their solution was for that specific requirement. We weren't really great on like identifying what was mandatory versus non-mandatory, and so we sort of marked almost everything mandatory, which is unfriendly in a bit. We gave them a narrative section to write something, and then we set the deadline for Monday morning. So
You are the reason proposal people work over the weekend.
we're
That
monsters. We're monsters.
yeah, that was the one that
Yeah,
really gets me.
yeah. We're not good people. We're not good people. And then yeah, and then just like the sheer reading of like going through their responses, because of course, like in the commercial space, and again, I'm not sure how this is in the AEC or even GovCon space. But there's like a little bit of like a sliding scale of truth, right? Like,
Yes.
we'll answer yes, but it's yes with a qualifier, which means that narrative response becomes really important because we're sitting there in the back trying to rank like how good this answer is, right? Like, and
That
anyways,
definitely happens in AEC too.
oh yeah, yeah,
We
perfect,
fudge we fudge details all the time. That was
perfect,
absolutely a $50 million project. Sure. Yeah. We can totally handle that. Well,
yeah.
that's
So and honestly, what was interesting, of course, is that like we had to discuss like how do we prevent bias, because of course we'd seen demos for all the products in advance. We'd done our due diligence. We've eliminated other tools and stuff like that. We This is a shortlisted group already that we are sending this bid to and stuff like that. And people have their favorites of sorts in the race, and it's like, oh, how do we get around this and everything like that, and how big is the steering committee going to be that actually like makes the recommendation to the senior executives, and should we see pricing in advance, should we see the customer's name in advance? Well, I mean, it's hard not to, because we didn't tell the customers to hide who they were, so of course their narrative answers have like all their stuff in it. So yeah, anyways, it was a very interesting experience. And then what we were doing is, while reading through the answers, we were trying to rethink what our proposal processes would look like with an AI tool, and that proved to be more of a challenge. And I want to kind of like jump ahead to the Sunday, because of course Rochelle and I meet on Sundays to do our strategy session, and I feel like we open up our meeting with almost the same insight, which is, hey, this is moving a lot faster than we expected, that the tools that are out there are being used in more creative ways and more dynamic ways than we've seen in the past. And we are getting ready to do like an MVP with two of the tools that we just shortlist and stuff like that. And part of that is us rethinking our process and seeing how they would fit into that brand new process. And in some cases, we are thinking that they will, like, similar to Chris Basila's chart, they will probably like move through most of the process. So if we can include scoring data, similar to not Palantir, who is the other person who supported Pi in the past? Anyways, we can upload scoring data into the tool, and it can tell us whether this is like a bid no bid kind of situation, or a go no go sort of situation. Most of them, almost all of them, promise a first draft with content inside in under an hour from the initial
Oh, wow.
upload, right? So like being able to get to read review or something like that, like within the first day, um, of your content is pretty wild. Is pretty wild, and not only that, um, it also changes like the the content management, because a lot of them are talking about the idea of like, hey, we'll store your output in a Q&A pair if you wish, but like we can accept blob data. um, then again, very similar to what Quandai was trying to demonstrate to us 2 years ago, now has come to fruition. Like there's just,
Yeah.
yeah, there's just if you can get some initially good content in there, the tool can speculate a lot about what it needs to do. So, and I think you had a similar experience, roughly, in that.
I did, and it wasn't related to specific response tools, it was just like we were all playing with out of the box stuff, in
Yeah,
all of the sessions that I was in, like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini,
yeah,
um, or like open source stuff. But the idea, like the overwhelming idea that we were coming away with is not that we would be like replaced as people, um, but that these AIs can now automate so many of the tasks that we do within proposals and within just as marketing, as marketers,
yeah,
um, that it almost doesn't warrant having a full-time person in that role, which is terrifying to me, right?
yeah, yeah. I could see a lot of Sholo shops really starting to like shove this onto one person on the side of their desk. As a matter of fact, so while I was there, my client announced that they are going with AI first initiatives, and like you should be using AI every day in every aspect of your job. And actually said like, hey, start being creative. Like, do a couple hours a week of just like random experimenting as part of your job duties on things that you can like try to do through AI. And then again, while I was there, another software firm that I am connected to has finished their budgets for the year. So their fiscal year ends kind of March. And so their budgeting is set. And then their headcount was set as well. Like, hey, here's the X number of people that you can hire. And then what they told hiring managers is you can get a one-time $50,000 US bonus if you can find a way to not fill that headcount via AI. And and my suspicion is there will be a lot of creativity. There'll be some, slapdash efforts to do so. But at the same time, I think that that will show that a lot of people can, in fact, do more with less. It's a company's way of like incentivizing, do more with less. And
Incentivizing replacing people, which is horrifying to me.
I mean, yeah, like so we have likened AI to the tractor before, but more and more it really does seem like you need to get on top of these tools and you need to be thinking about where you want to go inside your career. And I know that AP&P has done a lot around contract lifestyle management, or like this idea of like getting more involved in the contracting and post implementation phase and stuff like that. I know others have talked about moving upstream towards business development and strategy, and like becoming true bid managers, where you identify strategic clients and move it all the way through the bid process. And I think more and more you're going to have to think about where you want to sit inside that, what you want to do inside that. So yeah, but yeah, the tools that we're seeing are very powerful. Some of it is a little bit of hopium. I will be very interested when we actually go to the proof of concept, how good they are when we put real data inside them, and
I'm
not the
excited
data.
for part two of this.
Yeah,
I'll
not the
use it as
data
proof
they're
of
testing
concept.
on. And look back to my episode 2 episodes ago, or 3 episodes ago. I can't even remember now. Rochelle, it's been a long month. Uh, where I talked about the study that I did on BLG, gonna have to bleep that out. Anyways, the study that I did on one of my legal clients in regards to their performance. Um, anyways, and we just discovered that as people became more familiar with the tool, human error actually crept in, not in review errors as so much, or sorry, not in tool errors, but in like trusting the tool too much and not reviewing the content by hand. So So there is something that like tools like this are more powerful and they'll add risk to your proposal process. But my guess is that this is from an executive standpoint would be well worth it, right? A couple of extra hours of review time for like a lack of an FTE, it's probably no comparison from their point of view. So
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
Which the Lupio report kind of told us the last 2 years, right? That
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
there's huge disconnect between executives and, like, the people actually in the trenches on how replaceable we are with this technology, and now
yeah,
we're seeing it happening, which is deeply concerning to me, but, I'm gonna remain hopeful, that there is still opportunity for us to own the technology and, like, how it's used properly.
yeah,
So, get these
yeah.
tools in hands ASAP.
Yeah, get skilled on prompting, get skilled on what the limitations are of the tool are. Pi has always suggested this and will continue to do so. And then at this year's RF Win, I'm sure that we will have speakers that will touch on some of these topics and give some ideas on what it is. Anyways, so very, very, very interesting stuff happening out there. So there you go. Should I do a Tales from the Pitch? Do you have the time? I know that we're a little
I
bit
do have the time.
okay. Let's go.
Bring it on.
So this is not my first time on the procurement side.
Excellent.
It's not even my second time on the procurement side. But
You have so much experience. As
I
did your
know,
classmate.
I know. Well, I mean, my origin story is that I used to be a property manager, like issuing bids, right? But like on such a small scale, right? Like $20,000 worth of weatherproofing on your your buildings, like sidewalks or something like that, right? Like
It still counts.
yeah,
Still
still
counts.
counts. Still counts. But I did do. I did help with a procurement process for the city that I live in, and the city was proposing a major construction project, and that was not the bid that I was responsible for. The bid I was responsible for was soliciting like town halls. Basically, it was basically like hiring someone to run the town halls and collect feedback from people before the building process, during the building process, and after the building process. So it didn't become a big press nightmare because this was a road project that would effectively like take out a major artery for like 2 years, right? Like,
Ooh.
and so like small businesses along the way were expecting to be, mostly devastated.
Yeah.
And
I feel that.
yeah, because foot traffic would be harder, driving would be harder, et cetera, right? Like the whole kit and caboodle. Anyway, so we knew that whoever responded to the bid would have to be very good at handling like negative comments and stuff like that, and handling like actual difficult issues. And I was not the prime on this bid. I didn't create the requirements. I didn't like manage the bid process. The city has their own proposal manager. What I was hired to do is basically hire a cast of characters for what would be the test, because we would shortlist a couple of the bidders and then run them through these mock events,
Oh my goodness. I love
like
this.
mock
Okay.
orals, where people would complain about aspects of the business project or like just blatantly not understand what they were being presented with.
This is amazing.
So anyway, I had a little bit of drama experience,
Okay. Again, more
and
questions.
and
Well,
so yeah,
and
so we did use some city personnel for some of it, but we didn't want to like overuse it. But I hired actual actors, so people who could present themselves as like a well-meaning small business owner, a well-meaning small business owner, a we could have like a disgruntled pedestrian, someone worried about the environment, kind of thing. And at the end of it, I had like these 10 characters that would show up for the POC, or for the orals, whatever we were calling it at the time, the demonstration. Anyways, so we shortlist down to like two of these firms who are going to manage kind of this public relations slash communication piece internally and stuff like that. And we again, bad on us, good on us, I don't know. We forced them to like create materials to support it. So we gave them the data about what they would be presenting at the meeting, i.e., the start of this project, where we'd be like breaking ground at this front street and stuff like that, and like trying to explain to businesses and customers how like it would affect pedestrian traffic and like working traffic and like where bus lanes would go and everything like that. And so
Okay.
we gave them some information, and one of them showed up, and it was clear that they were expecting to just dryly present all their information, and no one in the audience was going to stand up or say anything. But lo,
Oh no.
did I have my team of rabid actors ready to go. And I know we said it. I know we said that they would be doing this in front of a live audience with genuine concerns, but I think that they had never before encountered like
I
like a
would have never expected it to be like real. Like I would have thought it was like, oh, it's a couple people from the city who are just gonna like ask some questions at the end.
softball questions. No, well, like the woman who we'd hired to be the small business owner, she decided that she ran a massage parlor.
I love
And
it.
so she was like double impacted because like she's like, how can I create a soothing environment and with your jackhammering outside? And then on top of it, she's like, there's no foot traffic. I'm not gonna get anyone just doing a walk-in. Like
It's amazing.
she's like, are you gonna pay for an appointment booking system for me?
Oh my gosh.
It was so good. It was
That
so
is
good.
amazing.
The eventual group who got it, honestly, they handled it so well. Like they brought in like some sort of crisis personality.
Good for them, because I feel like you
Yeah.
need it. Your actors
And
are that on it.
it did teach me something too, because that person was very much like, if they didn't have the materials, they're like, you know what, this is really important. Let's get your information. And they put their information somewhere visible so that everyone can see we are taking down this person's question and a contact ID, kind of thing, and we'll get back to them. Right? Like,
Right?
yeah. Anyway,
There's
so
no
there you go. That's
incredible.
me on the other side of procurement. Having so much fun. Not like the one that I just did, which I feel very bad about. I should never make a bid due on Monday morning. I don't know what I was thinking.
End of day Friday, like,
End of day Friday. Spare that poor
country.
proposal manager. All right. Anyways, you can find us in the community. Sorry, I didn't even start with my regular intro. This was Rachelle Ray, our Chief Bakers Officer, and me, Ben Klein, our Chief Recipe Officer for Pie. We are signing off. Obviously, hope you are safe and secure in your bids and everything like that. Hope you're going into the weekend not working and not dealing with a procurement where someone makes it a Monday morning deliverable. All right. Y'all be safe out there. Take care.
Bye, y'all.